Alright guys, today's video is about spraying tips here and fertilizing tips. I'm going to lump this in together. The reason I'm not right up against the food plot filming is I am pig hunting. So there's one pig in the food plot that I have been waiting for, and he is right up here and right over here. That's the two places he's been spotted the most. I'd have to watch for soybean to wiggle around if he comes out, but I may have to stop the video abruptly, or I may try to get a video of me shooting him. Just depends on what happens here. I don't have good camera vantage points to do this from, but let's get back on topic here. uh, One of the reasons I have not sprayed my plot yet is because of the drought. To me, this is just my opinion on this. Plants in this food plot are under enough stress as it is. So if you look carefully, that soybean is wilting down. My milo is wilting down. Everything is wilting down, including my sunflowers, but they're still growing, but they're wilting. So why would I want to add additional stress by spraying a chemical on here? And yes, soybean is resistant, but my other species are not. And that could actually add additional stress to the soybeans here. And instead of them surviving the spray, they may show small effects from the spray, medium to catastrophic effects from spraying. So while these plants are in an extremely weakened state, I do not want to add any additional stress. That is just my opinion on that. Based on the spraying that I've done in the past, I have sprayed in a drought situation before, and I lost plants that I didn't think I would lose. And it was just because they were so weak, they couldn't handle the additional stress, and it killed them. So from that point on, I have never sprayed when it's been this dry. So this week, based on the amount of rain chances, we've got a lot of days coming with 80% chance of rain. So if I can get 3 inches of rain or 4 inches of rain out of this, heck, even 1.5 to 2 would be great, but 3 to 4 would really help knock a dent in what I'm missing here. I would then come back and spray the plot after that fact, because the plants have already perked up from the new water supply and their strength is on the increase. Now, I also want to caution on fertilizer as well. Fertilizing is always a great tool if you have to have it. But when you spray, or when you not spray, but when you fertilize, I would not recommend having fertilizer set on the ground for 4 weeks waiting for rain. Always try to fertilize within 48 hours of rain, especially if it's a good amount of rain. Uh, Fertilize can backfire on you, especially if you go the synthetic route. And for instance, the way this plot is set up, if I come in here and I hand broadcast into the plot, there is a chance that some of that synthetic fertilizer is going to attach itself to the leaves or get caught inside like one of the leaf cups. That can cause your plant to get burnt. You could have wilt, wither, or death in those situations, just because your fertilizer could not get rain on it and it just sat there and literally cooked the leaves apart. So fertilizer does have its drawbacks if you try to fertilize in drought. So be very careful with that. And spraying is also the same concept. There's really not much of a difference. Even on spraying now, a lot of sprays have went to a 30-minute or less dry time. So even if you have a forecast of rain that's 80% that day, but if you've got, you know, that 30-minute to hour gap where you can apply a plot and let it set for that 30 minutes to an hour without any rain on it, then when the next rain hits, you're already good to go. Some of these sprays are getting even faster than 30. Some of them are 10 minutes, some of them are instant sprays. Usually the faster the reaction, the more they cost. So I tend to stick with a regular glyphosate spray. Also, when it comes to spraying, just because it has glyphosate on the bottle doesn't necessarily mean it's the right one. I've made this mistake in the past, and I bought a Roundup bottle that had glyphosate, and it was mixed with like 2, 3, or 4 other chemicals. Didn't think nothing about it, and because my soybean is spray resistant, I thought, all right, we're good to go. Hit it with spray, come out within a day or two, and the soybean started wilting and dying. And it's because the other ingredients that they mixed in with the glyphosate killed my soybean. So I learned a valuable lesson, just to read the bottle and make sure before you spray your plot. So the fewer the chemicals, the better. I hate chemical spray. I absolutely hate it. If there was, well, there is a way to get around that, and that is developing healthy soil with thicker plots. And I'm telling you right now, based on what I know I need to spray in here, I have set a record for the least amount of spray I have ever used in this food plot. Very little of Section 3 needs any help whatsoever. The only real reason I will be spraying in here is because of the morning coffee plants that are in here. I don't want them seeding out. I have fought too hard to reduce their area, and just 1 year of laziness, you could lose years of hard work. So that's why I still need to spray this. If it wasn't for the morning coffee, the only thing I would need to spray are these edges. I've got some briars, which deer eat briars, don't get me wrong, but I got briars growing in here. I don't want briars in my plot. The briars can stay all up there in around the wood edge, the field edge, or even up there near the island. That's fine, but I don't want them in here. I want my good stuff to dominate here. That's why I designed the space the way I did. Even one other thing on fertilizing. In drought conditions, I would recommend going a liquid fertilizer route versus the hard synthetic fertilizer, because it does require water. At least with the liquid, you're trying to cover both your bases, and it helps prevent plant burn when you use a liquid form of fertilizer. But make sure you've got your fertilizer to water ratios right for those of you that can water plots. I would highly, highly recommend anything that is organic or water soluble. I'm trying to transition away from your typical synthetic fertilizers right now, and I'm looking at other means of organic style fertilizing, so that way I don't harm my bacteria in case my plans don't work as well where I've restored this area. And let's say sometime there might be a P and K issue down the road, maybe not every year, but let's say every 2 or 3 years something might crop up. Well, I don't want to throw synthetic on there anymore. I want to use nothing but organic, and that way I don't harm my bacteria numbers, and I can even go out and purchase more bacteria if need be, which I do plan to do that here in the future. So there you go, guys, a short video on tips for spraying fertilizing in drought conditions. You all have a good day.